to the Movie Club Emporium, and this is our third week talking 90s schlock. And my goodness, last week we were down under in Australia. Now we're in the Great White North because we're talking about a Exploitation film called Mindfield from 1990. Um, this film is we'll get into it, but first of all, the film was directed by Jean-Claude Lord, which is from now on will be forever my go-to wrestling name because that's an awesome name. Starring Michael Ironside and Christopher Plummer, and again, much like Christopher Walken in uh, our first film, All American Murder, now we have Michael Ironside, who is 99.9% the bad guy. Uh, However, in this film, he is the good guy. He's playing a cop. It's only the second Michael Ironside movie I've ever seen with him as a good. Well, yeah, no, the third because he is technically a good guy in Starship Troopers, depending on how you read that movie. But in Neon City, which is a movie Nick and I will talk about later in the year. Um, but this movie is interesting because it's 1990 and it is essentially a Michael Ironside vehicle of a movie that mixes two films, one of which is another Michael Ironside movie, Scanners, also a kind of a exploitation movie. I mean, it's a Cronenberg movie, but it's very Canadian. And the plot of The Naked Gun, which is not something I had on my bingo card when setting up 90 Schlock January. Um, because it is about a doctor who's played by Christopher Plummer, and he's got a terrible haircut and a mustache, and you know he is doing a fake German accent because, I mean, he just has to. And apparently, he's been doing experiments on people, invading their minds, and getting them like ready to become secret assassins, where they would know that they were assassins. So again, it's kind of the plot of The Naked Gun, just with a lot less Reggie Jackson and like beaver jokes. Uh, and Michael Ironside, come to find out, is a cop on this trail of these seemingly normal people killing people and then not remembering anything. And it turns out, oops a doodle, um, he was one of his patients and has possibly been programmed as well. So again, Michael Ironside, like he was in Scanners, he's got his mind's been messed with, and now there's consequences. So again, it's a very weird merging of two films. Also, this is kind of, it's, if you watch the trailer for this movie, it's set up like like when you think of like a 90s action film, late 80s, early 90s, like American action film. Um, it is not that. There's a couple of scenes that are really cool and really fun, and then there's just a lot of talking because we've got to explain this plot to you. Um, Again, this is one of there are some cool things. This one that is kind of the bread and butter for this particular theme month because there's a lot of stuff that's fun. Again, I'm just sitting here watching us being like watching like I just imagined the ending of The Naked Gun where he's like, I must kill the queen. I must kill the queen. But it's Michael Ironside, and Christopher Plummer like being evil German doctor. Um, and there are again some fairly cool action scenes, but then there's just a lot of talking. A lot, much like Scanners, we gotta explain to you what's happening. So there's just a lot of exposition. And so it's very beefy in the middle, kind of slow pace, but there are little pockets that where you're just like of nonsense that are kind of fun. So It's one I would lightly recommend, not one that I'm like, you got to see this movie. Um, you can find it, I think, maybe on YouTube. Uh, I because I when I buy things from Vinegar Syndrome, I buy them with you all in mind because I don't know if it was Vinegar Syndrome or one of their partner labels put this out. And I think I got it on like a $10 daily deal one time, like a few years ago, and have been saving it. So I watched it on Blu-ray. So it looks fantastic for this '90s goofy Canadian cop mind control movie. But I'm sure you can find it. Again, it's a lot of fun. It's cool seeing Michael Ironside play against type. For me, that's probably the most fun about it. Um, Christopher Plummer. I mean, it is kind of funny watching him do this accent and just thinking about him. This is the same character that when he plays Van Helsing in Dracula 2000. But as far as like a fun, super high octane action film, that it is not. It's a lot of talking, so be wary of that. However, next week, our final entrant of 2026's 90's Schlock January, and I have saved the best for last. Not only are we getting probably the most fun of these four movies, but also really the king of this genre, Rutger Hauer. We're talking about Omega Doom. So make sure you join us for that. Make sure you like and subscribe. Do all the things that YouTube asks you to do. Please help push us around. Don't forget, Nick and I, for our January Live, we are doing the Riddick franchise. All the Riddick films, the 3 live action and that animated one that came out in the early 2000s. If I had an original Xbox, I might have taken a shot at Escape from Butcher's Bay, but alas, no. But we were talking about all 4 Riddick films, and then we're leading up into February for our best and worst of. Nick's got his post theater clarities coming out when he gives you the hot, fresh takes right out of the theater. And you need those. He needs those hot, fresh takes because it's really cold where Nick lives at this time of the year. So make sure you check those out. Join us next week for Omega Doom, and until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.